Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. During this past week, we watched a slow-moving trough that moved from the Pacific Northwest across the northern plains. That slow movement brought in numerous rounds of thunderstorm activity beginning early in the week and progressed through the midweek period before we got a one-day break. And then, of course, we've seen the total precipitation be kind of exit out of our system yesterday as the main core of that upper air low moved toward our east. The reason we had so much precipitation with this system is we were able to tap that moisture from Hurricane Newton that moved up the Baja Peninsula and then became a depression in the southern portions of the southwestern United States, particularly southeastern Arizona and southwestern New Mexico. So the funnel of moisture up into our region was not impeded by the Rocky Mountains, and therefore we were able to juice up the atmosphere, so to speak. The good news is we're approaching Husker harvest days, that the models are indicating that it looks to be a fairly cool period during Husker harvest days and potentially dry. So let's get right to the main forecast. And here we are with the upper air trough that is beginning to move through our region. We have the cold air on the back side of this trough. So we're going to have a nice cool weekend. A little bit of a relief as we get into Sunday as the temperatures start to bump up slightly. But overall, we're going to be looking at widespread 70s with a few isolated 80s, particularly in the southern part of the state. And as we go into tomorrow, we'll see that trough rapidly lift toward the Great Lakes, and we'll get more of a zonal flow, very dry air coming down off of the mountains, and we don't expect much in the way of any precipitation chances across the state on Sunday. But as we get into Monday, we'll start to see another trough approaching the Pacific Northwest, and it will also bring in some moisture from some of the residual of Newton out in the southwest, might pull across the Rocky Mountains and touch off some scattered showers, although they'll be very isolated. Most likely areas would be across the extreme southern portion of the state. As we go into Tuesday, this system starts to move its way toward our region, and therefore we do have an increasing chance for shower activity. Right now, the numerical models indicate that the best opportunity for widespread precipitation will be across the southeastern part of the state, but what I'm seeing right now by the numerical models gives me pause in consideration of this precipitation. I think it might be a little bit farther to the south and the east of Nebraska. But more importantly, on Wednesday, the trough will blow through. We'll get some slight ridging, but much cooler conditions, and we actually may see some temperatures that will be hard-pressed to make it into the 70-degree range as we go into Wednesday. So it'll be a nice cool day, Husker harvest. And then as we go into Thursday, we'll start to see this trough reorganizing itself in the west and merging with a trough coming in the Pacific Northwest, and that will start to make its way into the region. We'll start to see temperatures rising slightly, but we're still looking at very dry conditions. And as we get into next Friday, here's the system starting to wind up. There is a little chance of shower activity across the high plains region. Some of that may move into extreme southeastern Nebraska, but for the most part we expect dry conditions. More importantly, we may see some scattered thunderstorm development in the high plains region, particularly as we get into the western one-third of the state, and we could really use some of the scattered dryness that has been persistent across the panhandle in the southwest may be relieved with this system, and this is expected to start moving now as we go into next weekend, and there's the potential that this could stall out and give us some pretty significant rainfall over the next couple days as we move into the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday time frame. Now, in terms of the outlook from next Saturday through the end of the month, models are continuing to indicate below normal temperatures, and they're also indicating that most of the central and northern plains will be in the prime spot for heavy precipitation.